I think what is really important in my work is to know a little bit the secrets behind how it's actually made. And my work process is based on collaboration. So I have in every media, I have a team of around 10 people, also international around the world, and every single person is really important to have in my team in order to be able to make that. And I'm walking you a little bit through the steps that I'm taking to make a work like that. Of course, it starts with what I like to call a dream. So I have a dream of something I would like to make, and that's the most important thing. Because I believe that art, the most important thing of art is to communicate. They're our messengers that are out in the world, and they're communicating it to the people who see it. So then, once I have the dream, or the message, or however we want to call it, then I'm starting to break it down into the various medias to be able to speak to the viewers the message that I want to say. And then it goes into the process of the choreographed work, which is really sort of the impulse of everything you see. So the videos, all the people and the creatures that you see in here, it's choreographed works mainly in a bird's eye view, which became my practice. So some of it is filmed now with drones in the places, in the nature, and a lot of it is filmed in green screen studios on a green floor, and the camera is mounted on the ceiling. And then I'm choreographing dancers in costumes to create these works. There is the series of the insects and creatures, and then there is also the newer works, or no, it's not newer or older, everything sort of happens in parallel, or also the mandalas, where you can see these kaleidoscopic multiplications of the bodies. I was also quite influenced the last couple of years by my experiences and teachings in Asia, because I had residencies in India and I had residencies in China. And I think, as it's said, there's the before and after India, and you can only know what that means once you go yourself. And I would say that has also been a very, very culturally and spiritual strong experience for me. So then let me continue. I'm already speaking too long about details. So then after the choreographed work, there's a long post-production process of the videos, because they're layered, as you can see, collaged with different backgrounds and realities. Some are filmed in nature, so I travel a lot to go to places and capture those moments and the nature. And then there's also video labs, so where we're creating in lab situations, colors and textures and different kind of processes. And then the sculptural element, because my work, I call it video sculpture, because it's video in relation to object, or video installation, video in relation to architecture and space. And that was really at the beginning when I entered art school. I was fascinated by video, but I didn't want to relate the video only to the media, meaning having a black box or having a television to show video. And one of my statements is that I want to free the video from the technology or from the media, which is partly possible because I'm, of course, dealing in the process with a lot of technology, but what you see at the end is actually art and not media. Lots of my collaborations are now going on for more than a decade. That's also really wonderful, because we have been collaborating for so long that we don't really have to explain anymore what we are doing, so it's become a natural process of the hive mind that's creating together. So there is a glass blower. Glass is an important material that I'm using when we are making the glass works. Or there is, that's also glass, And then there is some new sculptures that are based on natural materials. There's the bird's nest that's built with vines, and the rock over there that where there's a sculpture that's made out of rocks. Then the projections, the planets is one of, as she said, it was at the Maxi Museum 2010. So for a decade I've been creating planets and universes of those floating objects, or then projections on the walls or on the floor. And video really has the power to transform space. That's really what's so wonderful about it, and the space becomes alive. Okay, now let's do a round. Or does anybody already have questions about anything? No. So let's maybe start here and do the round around. So I'm also always trying to find new forms to make, to take the two-dimensionality away from the work. And in this case, I started to work with these crystals to split up the image and expand it from that one projection. That's why I'm doing that, because this piece also likes a little bit of movement. And the bee works, there's actually 3 bee works. Here, the bee became an important symbol for my work that it kind of represents more than just the bee for me, like the entire importance of the environment and how perfect nature has been designed with all creatures from small to big. So for the natural cycle to function, and if we interfere with that, then we are facing serious consequences of our own action. And I'm trying to communicate these messages through beauty and through trust, and because I think that's the way we can approach to find solutions. I'm going to read you a part of the Bee Manifesto, which I'm happy after also to hand you, which kind of became my message that I'm spreading around the world. Bee Manifesto. Be aware. There's a dying dancing tribe. There's a perfect mute cry in the sky. Be aware. Drones make love in the air until yesterday, and today they die. Why? Be aware. America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Oceania, they still die. Why? Be aware. Their communities are structured, orderly, and tight. They feed you and your child. Be aware. Honey is energy, like charcoal, oil, or gas. It's ancient, liquefied light. Be aware. Pesticides, drought, parasites. Honey spoils in the hives. Be aware. They see ultraviolet patterns, the architecture of life. Can't you see? They die. Be aware. They dance to the sound of invisible alphabets. Can't you hear? They die. Be aware. They are sleeplessly buzzing all night as they dream of pollen and sun. Be aware. They're sleeplessly buzzing all night, and their nightmare is air and soil and light pollution. Be aware. There is no land of milk and honey. There's no future where bees die. Be alive. The bird's nest, that's built by us, not by a bird, but we're using natural materials to combine it with the video screen, and then putting those glass eggs inside. So it's kind of combines in the sculptural way the idea of human and technology versus nature and manifests it sculpturally here. Also, this work has the title of the show, What Happens to the Swallows That Are Late for Spring. And you can discover in here birds that are flying and that are finding their way, migrating birds. And the title corresponds to climate change, all those creatures that are migrating and are getting confused when they have to fly and where they have to go as a consequence of the changes of the climates and all the environments. Also, a lot of different perspectives to look at. I started to work with lenses on the glass that are magnifying or changing the glass. So to have as many different perspectives as possible to look at the work, as well as in the image and also in the sculptural form. That piece, the beehive, is quite direct translation to the Bee Manifesto. You can also discover some text in here that's actually from the Bee Manifesto. There is some works that I constantly do with the video alphabets, where we write with dancers, groups of dancers, the alphabet. So we go from A to Z, and then in post-production I can create words and text and questions out of it. It's also a practice, an ongoing practice of sort of through the collective action we can speak and we can communicate even to the universe when it comes to the planets. And it needs more than one dancer to be able to form a ladder, and it actually needs probably 6 times. Yeah, we usually work with 6 dancers for the ladders. So if you have a word of 6 letters, that means you need 36 people to be able to communicate. So calling out for collective action. Then here we have the video planets, which are the one in the back and the one on the right. They are realized last year in China during my residencies. I was invited by a wonderful, the House Collective. They have 4 really high-level and artistic boutique hotels in Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Chengdu. And I was able to stay in every of those cities for a month and had a collaboration in every city. And out of these collaborations, this work has been created. I was inspired by the 5-element theory, the Chinese 5-element theory, which is sort of the building block of their culture. So it was wonderful as a Westerner visiting China based on the building block of their culture. So there was, in Hong Kong, was a collaboration with a Feng Shui master, in Beijing with a choreographer and dancers. So that's what you see in the choreographed work. In Shanghai with fashion designers who actually made clothes out of the patterns of the work. And in Chengdu with a Chinese ink painter. That's when you see these drawings and paintings appearing in the works. And again, every collaboration inspires me to bring a new aspect into the work. This is element wood, element metal, and then in the center I'm showing the element air. The loops are between 8 and 12 minutes, or maybe 6 and 12 minutes, some of them. So you can, but they're based on loops, so you can start to watch them anytime and stop to watch them anytime and go back to it and look at it maybe from another angle also. So the spheres are, when they are in exhibitions, in temporary exhibitions, then they're inflatables, which special produced inflatables up to 6 months, and then when they go into permanent collections, the size is being chosen, and then they are produced out of chloroprene. Been doing a lot of museum exhibitions with these works because it also allows me a lot to work with the space. And then that's also nice when it goes in private collections, the size can be chosen according to the space. So then here there are the last three, then there's also the rock, the three glass sculptures on the wall that are like, here are the bubbles that are representing element air. Sort of a sea creature that's representing element water, and the element fire on the right. And then the piece over there is a rock that I recently made now in Colombia, working with a craft artist that's working with rocks. He goes to find them and then carves into them, and that's now a first piece that came out of that, featuring the love mandala. So when I did the 5 elements in India, the mandalas, I chose as the 5th element, I chose love, and that's in there, which is the motor of everything probably for all of us. There are screens that are produced in that are specially produced that have the mechanism to play the video in loops when you turn it on. Yeah, they're basically like little TVs, you can imagine. Flat screens that are embedded, and it has a switch on the side to turn it, they can go to sleep. So the sculpture still exists, and then they have a switch on the side, and then it starts to load again. And yeah, and there's also the sound. Every piece, actually yes, every piece also has sound. There is an audio designer who, when I finished the video, I sent the file to an audio designer. And then right now it's a he, it used to be she. He creates then a sound score for every piece, which on the side also can be turned on and off. Has a thing here, so which then you can choose, or you can have it off when it's in, or you can have it low, or you can have it loud. And this piece, right now what we're looking at is featuring the water choreography from what I did last year in China, from the 5 elements theory, element water, that's in between the underwater videos that I did when I went diving in Providencia on an island that still has a really healthy and happy coral reef with lots of creatures there.
So have you had to deal with the changing technology of an older piece versus a newer piece?
I studied 20 years ago and I graduated 15 years ago. So when I graduated, similar type of electronics was already out. What is a positive factor is that the electronic is rather getting smaller. So if we do have to replace a part, we can find it in better quality and smaller, so it will fit. But it is and all the pieces are built in a way that they can be replaced. So that's also one of actually my really important aspects. I want people to be able to live with video, so they're becoming pieces that you can have in collections, but I also don't want collectors to have the fear that they will lose a piece, you know, and that actually a lot of not so good work has been done on that in the 80s and 90s, that people are losing their works. So in my case, how I do that is also you receive a certificate and a warranty when you get a work that states everything really clearly, and also takes that fear away that you basically have this piece forever. So you're not in the risk to lose it because of a failure of technology. And now also it's like, for example, this one now has a round screen. So I kept dealing, because I have round shapes, and I kept always dealing with the rectangular shape. So it's actually a super exciting moment to work with this, because there's so many more possibilities that are out there that make our life, make much more possible to now build such kind of creations also. Thank you.